Hello there, it's another week. You're welcome. This is Election Brief with me, Gifty Ando Apia. Coming up, East Legon roads get facelift ahead of 2020 elections. We will hear from the MP for Ayawaso West Legon, who is fighting off claims the rehabilitation of the road is a move to win votes.
We are constructed all the roads within the constituency, but we have over 50 kilometers road within the constituency. They are a whole lot, I tell you. Even with what I'm doing, I don't sleep.
More of that coming up. Also, former President John Mahama says the NDC is applying the Jehovah's Witness approach to this year's election campaign.
Speaking to taxi drivers, speaking to Okada riders and all that kind of thing. It's going to be like a Jehovah's Witness campaign, you know.
So what is the Jehovah's Witness campaign? We'll talk about that. The opposition National Democratic Congress again says it will make the Nation Builders Corps, NAPCO, trainees, permanent staff should it win the upcoming elections.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is saying is that he doesn't believe in ad hoc jobs. He appreciates the fact that unemployment is a big problem. As a matter of fact, a security threat to this nation. And so what he will do is that he will make all NAPCO beneficiaries permanent.
So is it a move targeted at NAPCO beneficiaries? What is it? We'll talk about it. Also coming up, President Akufo-Addo cut sword for the reconstruction of the 40.4-kilometer Bechem-Techimentia-Akumadan Road. We're live on your DSTV channel 421, Go TV 144. Remember, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can follow us on myjoyonline.com. We're streaming live too on YouTube. My name is Gifty Ando Apia. Stay tuned. You're welcome back. I'll take you through the details now. Now, roads in the Ayawaso West Legon constituency have seen a major facelift. JoyNews checks reveal over 50 kilometers of asphalt overlay has been done in parts of East Legon, Roman Ridge and Jowolu. The rehabilitation of the roads comes just months to the December polls. Well, Member of Parliament for the area, Lydia Sarah Malhassan, has dismissed claims the move is only an attempt to advance her electoral fortunes during the December 7 polls. But what do the people on the ground say? My colleague Kwesi Parker-Wilson visited East Legon and its environs and has come through with this report.
This is East Legon, a prime upscale community within the Ayawaso West Legon constituency. A constituency with shopping malls, embassies, 5-star hotels, and Ghana's premier university. East Legon is arguably the Beverly Hills of Ghana. The Ayawaso West Legon constituency has for many years remained a safe seat for the governing NPP. For many years, roads in the constituency were deteriorating, but with a few months to elections, a lot has changed here. At East Legon, roads around ANC Mall, Efo Sutherland Street, and Mahia Loop have all been given an asphalt overlay. That's not all. Roads in Jowolu, Abelempe, and Roman Ridge have also undergone repair works. MP for the area, Lydia Sarah Malhassan, explains why.
President, when he said he was going to, that this year is going to be a year of roads. So it is our share of the year of road that we are seeing across. I must say, we needed that. We want good quality roads that will last long. You don't want to have any shoddy work. And by the grace, these roads are roads that are going to last a long time for the constituency and the country as a whole.
But this explanation has been rejected by the NDC. NDC's constituency chairman, Bismarck Kaite, argues the NP cannot take credit for the projects which were started under the Mahama administration.
Concerning this asphalt overlay, it has not started for the past 3 months. It's something that was ongoing before NDC led power. You remember NPP started this some time back prior to the by-election. After by-election, it was put on hold. And they've started again. So it's not something new. We are in the most elite community, and every government try as much as possible to make sure the road network within the municipality is good. As you go around, you saw areas within East Legon that are not motorable, that there are no asphalt. Why those areas are not touched by violation that has seen its fair share of asphalt within last 4 years under John Dramani Mahama? Why should you come and put another quota on it? But you go to Mimpasem, you go to part of East Legon, you cannot send your cars there.
But the NP, Lydia Al-Hassan, disagrees.
Jowulu was constructed after the elections. Jowulu was constructed last year. Part of Abilinkpe was constructed last year. Even Mimpasem, we constructed Mimpasem after I became the MP. For the first time in the history of that part of the road, was constructed after I became the MP. So it is not for the by-election. It's a developmental project that, by the grace of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the Minister for Road, brought to the constituency. Though I am not that long in Parliament, but this is something that I go to them up for on a daily basis. I lobbied for the road construction in this constituency.
The NP, however, admits there are still deplorable roads within the constituency, but appeal to electorate there to remain calm as plans are underway to fix their road.
We are still, I believe there are still issues to do with the Lincoln Road and all the other roads in Abilinkpe. Jowulu, I'm not saying here that we are constructed all the roads within the constituency, but we have over 50 kilometers road within the constituency. There are a whole lot, I tell you. Even with what I'm doing, I don't sleep. I receive calls on a daily basis that our road hasn't been done. We have you haven't fixed our road, and I plead with them, my constituents. We cannot do everything within this year. Kindly bear with us. We are working hard to ensure that the rest of the places that has not been constructed will be done. I promise you, I am doing my very best. I really don't sleep until your roads are done.
Meanwhile, residents, including commercial drivers, are excited about the sudden modification of the road networks. Some of the constituents who spoke to JoyNews at the Washington Bay say business has shot up since the construction of the roads.
First in the news, especially village near say to account come it may block 45 hours. Na can't mean Koibu across our backpack to say soon be free quano. But my men are MP Wahano. One am say or ye quino. Tiquano so dear why any fine or ye aboa into near any agent. Let me tell you, since you topana with him was here, go ahead to any me. By Conor Bendia, ye bow for Necona be busy basse, being a Juma some way. When we go corner so dear, Bitima Crabia Bitima Kufia could trust her to soon as out some labia or the year. By Conor ye and part of a boy, you may cost or ye kind of you may cost come upon. Oh, like I say, posh cars and heavy cars and a fast into. I'm not watching basin by it. Me now see grass, I'm a salad in this after crime, can be much, bending it to refia me who chibi crab feeling cry. Chatalum bar. I'm fasting. I said, I'm going to quite a way. Quite my mountain. I'm going to me. So, vote to get 28 and send you to come to bed 10. Come to me now, but quite a way in my idea.
Kwesipaka Wilson with that report. Now, residents of Manso Mim say bad roads in the area have exposed them to series of highway robberies after gunmen attacked a bullion van, killing a cashier and seriously injuring 2 others, including a police escort. Chiefs in the Amansia South District of the Ashanti region have therefore given government a 1-week ultimatum to begin construction of poor roads in the area. Addressing the media at Manso Mim Junction, Chief of Manso, Akwesiso Nanakwa Chijimaya Bua II, said construction of Manso roads should be a priority ahead of the December elections. JoyNews' Mahmoud Muhammad Nuruddin reports.
Nana Kwachi Jima Yeboah II states that Manso has been the stronghold of the ruling party, but roads have been deplorable for many years. The youth have been complaining bitterly to the chiefs, and we have decided to add our voice to their complaints so that His Excellency will work on our rules, because that is our challenge. Let me emphasize that the people of Manso have not disappointed the MPP and will never disappoint the party. People say traditional rulers should not do politics, but we do. Because I am a voter, being a traditional ruler doesn't mean we should not share our poor roads network with the president. We know His Excellency listens. We are therefore using the media to highlight our deplorable nature of roads and lack of electricity in Manso communities. It is worrying. Presiding member for Amansia South District Assembly, Ekweaku Kwati, says the district cannot boast of 1 kilometer of tarred road. He says politicians have promised to construct the roads, but nothing has been done.
There's an adage from traditional leaders that if you want to speak to God, you speak through air. So considering the fact that our constituency gave His Excellency the President 86% of valid vote cast in 2016 elections, the adage surfaced that to whom much is concerned, much is equally expected. Again, the ongoing harassment, intimidation and distortion in the constituency about armed robbery issues has brought insecurity in the constituency due to poor road network. Two significant issues bothering our people and for which we called you here, the media, today to highlight them are the roads, which you have seen it yourself. I can see my colleague from multimedia, I can see your camera is already decorated with the dust. And I like your hair. You are not that old, but I can see the gray hair, which is the dust. And electricity to some communities in our district. Mem Junction passing through Edubia to the district capital to Kumpesi Junction, 15-kilometer road. And as Nana did indicate, there's no single road in this district that we can boast of that we have quota, or even what my grandfather used to say not even sapitin here.
Nana Jima Yeboah II appeals to the president to intervene.
And say a man penny say, won't tell us to pem. Nen ya animanum ya yes, Nana. Acha na oche mama yehu bibi wa kwan so na oche yehu bibi wa kwan so yesra madaroma.
We are pleading with His Excellency to act immediately and listen to our humble appeal. Work should begin on our roads within a week. We are also pleading with His Excellency the President to appeal to the Minister of Energy to extend power to about 16 communities that do not have electricity. We know that His Excellency will begin work on the road before the 1 week ultimatum. Had it not been that the youth listened to us, they would have done worse things. We have waited for much too long. That is why we have organized this press conference.
Nana Kufaru Wadaruma. Emnanti ana me say ye kan omutie. Enso ele de afi de ame nananom. Ame enu tra ene akasa ba bonti a. Ye sa so trofo isiamu.
A report by Mohammed Nuruddin.
Now, the opposition NDC's manifesto continues to attract more reactions as people argue over the feasibility of the promises made. At the top of the list is job creation, as many debate the sources of funding for the 1 million jobs that the party is promising. My colleague Manuel Kranting has been interacting with some Ghanaians on this.
I recall the Great Depression between 1929 and 1930, when FDR, President FDR Roosevelt of the United States came into power. He came with a New Deal. I think after every great depression, after every great challenge, you need stronger policies. You need something to give people hope. When he was promising the New Deal, a lot of people did not believe in it. But if you have social security today across the globe, it's because FDR brought it up. And we need to get to that point where after every great challenge, every war, I mean, you need a Marshall Plan, and the People's Manifesto is a Marshall Plan for Ghana.
The act is going to be a regulation that is going to cement that particular policy. Tracking of that particular policy. So then if we have an act, a regulation, whenever the issue of employment rises up, we have an act or a regulation that backs that particular term. So then we don't have to say that, okay, now we know that this is your mandate to do it, so just go and do it like that. We have law that is backing it, you understand? So as you are doing it, you're going to work.
1 million jobs over 4 years. No, I mean 250,000 jobs a year. If you put in place, if you continue with the one district, one factory, for example, if you have road constructions across the country, when you are building new universities, for example, when you are empowering people with digital skills for them to kind of come up with jobs on their own. Maybe the next Amazon is from Ghana, maybe the next Facebook is from here. And we can only imagine that in the digital world, when you are kind of creating such platforms for people to get those skills, you make them more relevant. And I would like to also emphasize on the fact that from what I've read and from what I've been hearing so far, the 250,000 jobs are not just going to be like governmental jobs. They are not going to be.
It can be from private sector. They are going to stimulate private sector. Good. Let me go to
post-COVID season. When you are looking at how you are going to recover the economy, you'll be virtually looking at people are being redundant over the years. I mean that over this COVID period, I'm sure that companies have realized that they can actually use less people for more jobs. Hence, yes, there's going to be that deficit. But then if you are going to read what the People's Manifesto is talking about, I think that it has highlighted about 16 different sectors that are going to create employment. Let's even take the agriculture, for example. I mean, it has plans of processing 50% of the cocoa made in Ghana. That alone is job creation. So
but overly, I personally believe that the 1 million jobs over the period of 4 years, okay, I just can't feel the feasibility and the balance in it. Because if you are bringing a manifesto is about what or why you want us to vote for you. So this and that and that. But personally, looking at the NDC manifesto on the 1 million jobs, the feasibility studies and the balance of it, when I want to talk about the balance, I'm talking about looking at that in the other sectors. You understand? I just don't feel, because as my other brother was saying, Montana was saying, okay, you look at from the waste management, from all this, are there really areas that are, you understand?
We'll bring you more. We'll bring you more on the conversation as we move. But Gifty, you are hearing the conversation that we're having, and they are talking about feasibility. I was going to ask them about how government is going to, fund the jobs. I mean, the creation of the jobs that is talking. The NDC, I mean, not government. The NDC is going to fund the creation of the jobs. But I think that we can hand over to you now in studio, even as we continue the conversation here. Gifty.
Manuel Kwanting there. Well, still on employment and job creation. The NDC says it will make the Nation Builders Corps NAPCO trainees permanent staff should it win the upcoming elections. Discussing the NDC 2020 manifesto on JoyNews on the lockdown show on Sunday, the party's communications officer, Sami Jemfi, said creating jobs for the youth will be a major policy of the new NDC government in 2021, if elected, of course. Mr. Jemfi says making beneficiaries of NAPCO permanent staff will be one of its first steps to reduce the rate of unemployment in the country.
NAPCO, we have indicated that we are going to bring permanence to NAPCO. When they were engaged for a period of 3 years, and that 3 years is supposed to lapse this year. Government, seeing elections approaching and looking for votes, has decided to extend their contract for another 6 months. What His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is saying is that he doesn't believe in ad hoc jobs. He appreciates the fact that unemployment is a big problem. As a matter of fact, a security threat to this nation. And so what he will do is that he will make all NAPCO beneficiaries permanent. Those who require further training will be trained and progressively integrated into the public sector through this HR gap analysis that I've explained. But more finally on jobs, we've also spoken about skill development, which has to do with a national apprenticeship program, under which any Ghanaian, young or old, literate or illiterate, desirous of learning a craft, will be enrolled onto that program for free.
For free.
Trained. And during the training, government will ensure that every month we support them with stipends, for their feeding, their transportation, so that they can really learn. And when they pass out, we are going to give them certificates and set them up with the necessary toolkits so that they can open their businesses and employ others.
Sami Jemfide speaking with MFA Apau. He also said necessary training will be given to trainees and will subsequently be integrated into the public sector. The NDC in its campaign has promised that 1 million jobs will be created for the youth over 4 years of that administration if they get the chance. Mr. Mahama, in all his campaign tours, has stressed that Ghana cannot afford to have young people who are graduates being jobless. He therefore says there is a need for sustainable and decent jobs, and they will create that. Now, away from that, former President John Mahama has said that the NDC is adopting the Jehovah's Witness approach to this year's election campaign. According to the former president, this has become necessary due to the constraints that the coronavirus has brought to bear on the conventional ways of campaigning. The NDC, he explained, will be going door to door to sell their ideas. He was speaking on Accra-based radio Class FM.
And what we do is when we go into the community, we are targeting. And so you're going to greet the chief, or you're going to interact with traders or artisans. Recently when I went to the Upper West region in Wa, I went to the magazine where you have all the auto mechanics and all of them, and we had a very beautiful interaction. The other places where I went and met, health workers, that was in Volta region, and then in other places I've met dressmakers and other people like that. So it's a bit more targeted now.
Apologies for how that sound ends, but essentially he's saying we're going door to door, taking the election or our campaign door to door, like the Jehovah's Witness, does. Now, Mr. Mahama also says the NDC will win back all the 16 seats that they lost in the central region in the 2016 elections. NDC lost 16 out of 22 seats in that particular election and currently holds only 4. But according to the flag bearer, the party believes it will reclaim those lost seats. President Akufo-Addo now, and he is cutting sword or has cut sword for reconstruction of the 40.4-kilometer Bechem-Techimentia-Akumadan Road. The 50 million euro project is expected to be completed in 24 months. Now, on day one of his tour, his 2-day working visit to the Ahafo region, the president also inspected and commissioned some projects, including a business resource center, a 68-bed health facility at Kenyasi in the Sutifi North District. There is more in this report from correspondent Precious Semevo.
Dankwa Akufo-Addo started his 2-day working visit Saturday in the Tano North and South District of the Ahafo region to inspect a 3.9-kilometer tertiary town road and 8.7 kilometers tertiary Adroba feeder road and an AstroTurf at Koforidua. He also attended a Deba at Kenyasi, Bechem, Duankwanta and Techimentia, where he cut the sword for the reconstruction of a 40.4 kilometers Bechem, Techimentia, Akumadan road, which has seen many lip services in the past. At Bechem, the president inaugurated the Business Resource Center. The Trade and Industry Minister, Alan Chirmantin, said 37 out of the 67 of the centers are ready to train people to be able to create jobs for others. Nana Akufo-Addo also commissioned a 68-bed ward, a doctor's accommodation, and children's ward at Kenyasi in the Sutifi North District, where he said all projects under his watch will be completed.
Hospital here, Newmont 4, and I want to know how the Abebwa and my hospital at Jume Akoso. Not here, no. Yeah, why a person when he had Newmont, no.
The chiefs at all the derbys in the president's honor endorsed the president for another term for his policies, which has brought relief to them. Nana Amiya Basua is the Kronting Hine of Duankwanta traditional area.
Any free senior high school, 1D1F, planting for food and job, African Lucian Tobrano, and Yanukuso. Now, a Quambia and Faso, Yakasa Lingo, and Yak politics, and to all the review. Nana, get our chief, Yakan said, 4 more for Nana.
There were, however, appeals for more projects to better the lives of the people. Nana Kofi Abre, the first, is the chief of Kenyase.
Any gas dormitory. Over the dua, Omu have said that Madaruma, Omu and Political. Oba and Cotosa, no Omu Nursing College, so Omu here, dormitory. A first Omu sit down rules over here.
The president assured the people of Ahafo of his government's commitment to peace and will not tolerate any form of intimidation during the general elections. For Joy News, Precious Semevo, Ahafo Region.
This is your election headquarters. Member of Parliament for Ablekuma West constituency, Ursula Wuswe Kufu, over the weekend unveiled her campaign team for the 2020 general elections. The team, led by Samuel Bright Osei-Puni, is led by him. He admonished members to remain focused and dedicated to the task of retaining the seat for the NPP. He says all persons chosen to play different roles in the campaign team are people who are competent and capable of doing the work. The team is hopeful of securing another victory for the NPP in both the parliamentary and presidential polls. We have highlights of the event. And now be all for election brief with me, Gifty and Dopia, right here stepping in for Abakumsin. But there is more news at myjoyonline.com, and at 3 p.m. I'll be here with the pulse. Do stay with us.